Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about whether you're going to get this job or not. This job that you have applied for or are considering applying for. I'm going to be asking the cards if you're going to get it. So yeah, these are the decks that you can choose from. So this deck here will be group number 1, this deck here will be group number 2, this deck here will be group number 3. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure, so please check that out. So yeah, but let's focus on this reading right here. Choose your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? Will group number 1 get this job? The job that they have applied for or are considering applying for, will they get this job? Okay, so I'm sensing it's a no, but it's not a hard no. Like, I feel like some of you might be applying for a job that might already have been occupied by somebody else. Like, this might not be something that you know about, because maybe the job position is still available on the, like, maybe online on the internet it says that this position is still available, but I think they have maybe internally, like within the company, they might have already occupied it, but it might not officially be occupied. So I feel like there's something like that going on, where it's not personal, it's not like it's not like a real rejection, because I think they might have already made their mind before they even got to your application, like before they even got to read your resume. I think they already had their mind made up. So that's the scenario I feel like for some of you. I feel like for others of you, it might be something where I feel like you might not get this job in this round, but maybe in the next round. And that also applies for those of you where the previous scenario that I just said, for those of you where that will resonate. Of course, you don't know that already, because that's something happening internally within the company. There's no way for you to know that. But I feel like there is still a chance for you to get a job in the next round, when they are like searching for like employment in the next, like, I feel like it might kind of happen in rounds, like where sometimes there's a gap where they need employment and sometimes they just don't, and maybe right now they don't, and so it might happen that you can still end up getting this job in this company later, but you could also get a similar job in another company or even in another field. Because I feel like for some of you, even though there is still a chance you can get the job that you have applied for, I think there might be another job out there that could be better suited for you. Like, like, I don't know if this field is necessarily the best field for you. So I feel like maybe you should be a little bit more open-minded, or not open-minded. I feel like you are already quite open-minded. So, but I feel like it's maybe about looking in places where you might not have looked before, like trying to maybe be a little bit creative about your job search, and maybe consider some options that you haven't considered before, because I think there could be another field for you out there. But I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say about. First of all, I want some confirmation about this, about whether you will get this job or not. Okay, all the cards are reversed, which is an indication that you're not gonna get the job. But if these cards are somewhat positive, then it's a good kind of no. If they aren't, then still it's yeah, I think with the Five of Swords being reversed, I think, well, with the Five of Swords, it's about settling. And I feel like maybe it's not a good idea for you to settle, because Five of Swords is about like taking the leftovers. It's about kind of yeah. And I think maybe you have chosen something, like the job that you have applied for, it might not even be completely like up to your level, or I think maybe you've gone a little bit below what you can actually do and what you can actually achieve. That maybe you've played it a little bit safe, and maybe the reason why you're not going to get it is not because you're not qualified, because it seems like you are very qualified, maybe even overqualified, which might make the employer question whether this is the right job for you. So that could also be a reason why you might get a no, is because there is another job out there for you that is better suited for you. And so I feel like it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise. So with the Five of Pentacles reversed, I feel like you might have chosen something, like chosen to apply for this job out of money troubles. And that's, of course, the obvious reason for having a job is because people need money and jobs provide that. So yeah, it makes sense. But I feel like maybe you're making this choice for the wrong reasons, even though it's the right reason, it's the only reason. But it still seems like maybe if you followed your passion a little bit more, like finding something that, like, because I feel like you have applied for a job that isn't necessarily going to be like the most well-paying job. Like, I think you could even go higher, like finding something with a higher salary. I feel like you're maybe just choosing this because you need employment, like you need to have a job, like, and it's good now, it would save some issues now and make you more stable, make you more secure right now, but in the long run it might not give that much of a payoff, or much bigger. It won't give you a bigger payoff than waiting a little bit and seeing if something better comes along. Like, I feel like you can actually sort of, I feel like you can afford that, waiting a little bit, if that makes sense. So with a Page of Pentacles reversed, I feel like you have more education. That I think you have more education than is actually needed for the job that you have applied for. I feel like you have more education, more skills, and possibly also more experience, which might be a little bit of a step down if you actually get this job. It's like, maybe it's better to let this job pass on to someone who doesn't have the same qualifications as you have, because they have no other options. And so sometimes the universe works in that way, like that sometimes the right job gets distributed into the people who are most fit for it, or that, at least that's how it's supposed to be and it should be. But and so if you get a no, it's not something to cry about. It's more like that this was more fit, this was a better match for somebody with other qualifications, and you have other qualifications, you can get a better job if you wanted to. So and I think you want to, and even though, of course, now you might have these qualifications, and maybe you don't even want a job that all your qualifications actually, where all your qualifications are required. And I get that that's like, sometimes we can get a little bit overeducated, or people can get overeducated to the point where they are stuck in a field that they don't want to be in. And then they will get a lot of rejections from other, from companies, from if you want to, if you have a master's degree in something and you would rather work in a store, or something like that, because it's less stressful sometimes, or it might be less performance, less responsibility, or something like that, where you and that is an understandable thing. I think it's natural to want to mix things up a little bit, change things up a little bit sometimes, just to see if you could actually become happier in another field. But I feel like it might be a little bit hard because of the problem with the employers that don't want employees who are too overqualified for the job, that they would rather pass those jobs on to the people who are barely qualified, just because they don't have other options, and also because it's just it might be easier to have them as employees, because they might not Well, because it's, I don't know why, but it does seem to be a thing. With a 9 of Cups reversed. So yeah, it's the same thing. I think you are overqualified for the job that you have applied for, or that you're considering applying for. I think you would maybe be very happy with that job, which is the sad part. But I just think you're too overqualified. That I think you should maybe consider applying for jobs that are, where you can actually use your education, and if there aren't any jobs where your particular education can be used, which happens, then waiting a little bit is still an option. Like, I know maybe you've waited a long time, but it's like, and maybe being creative a little bit, and maybe also, being a little bit more generous geographically, like that with the amount of miles or kilometers that you want to drive towards that job. That maybe the perfect job is out there, but it's a little bit far away. But maybe that is worth it to do, to drive a little bit, or take the bus or take the train. That it could be worth it in the end. So and if you want to change fields, if you don't want to use your education because of various reasons, or because it's far away, or the only option out there is far away from you, or something like that. If that is the case, then don't give up on trying to apply for other jobs that don't fit your qualifications, or that don't use your qualifications. But it will happen. I'm just saying that the job that you have applied for now might have already chosen another candidate, or might go with another candidate, and possibly someone who's barely qualified, because of the reason that I just said, that they would rather choose someone who is barely qualified, because they don't have other, or because they feel like it's more fair that way, or like, I don't know if that I think they just think you have other options out there, that they don't feel bad about rejecting you because of your resume. Because, like, if they have read your resume, I think it's like they might feel like, oh, you can get a job everywhere with that resume. But that's just, the problem is that that's not true. But I think they make that misconception, and so they don't feel bad about rejecting you because of that, because you have various degrees, or like something like that. So it's yeah. But I still feel like you could get this job if you applied for it later, when they are when there is a gap again, like when they have another round of hiring new staff. Like, then I think they would consider you, especially if you've already applied once, because then they know that you actually want to be there, and that so and I think it might also help to make to write, like with your resume, write a little bit of a little letter where you describe why you want to. Well, of course you know that you've written a resume, but I think it might be good to state why you want to change fields or why you want that job, even though you're overqualified for it. Maybe don't say that, but you know why you're passionate about the, like. But yeah, I think you might have already done that, but yeah. But it might not hurt to apply for some other jobs too. I'm just yeah. And don't cry over this job, because there are other jobs out there that that could even. And I feel like maybe you should try to get a job that uses some of your qualifications, even though you might be running away from it because it's too stressful, or because it's too in too low demand or something like that, that you feel like you've reached a dead end or something, that you feel like there's just nothing out there for you or something like that. It's not the case. You just have to be a little bit more creative and maybe search a little bit wider, if that makes sense. And even look if you can do it online. And if you can work online, then maybe do more of that, like online jobs or something, because I don't know if that's like, because if you have like a degree in something that you can teach, then like there could be jobs, teaching jobs online, where you could even go about maybe working in another country online, teaching people from that other country the language that you have a degree in or something like that. I don't know if that is possible, but or if you have like, I don't know, like if you have a degree in some, I feel like you might have a degree in languages, but I feel like that maybe some of you have other degrees. I don't know, but languages are taught everywhere, and so you could. I feel like you could maybe find a job in that field. Like if you'd learned Chinese and there's no schools around you in your country that offer Chinese, then you could maybe work online from a school, like in a school in another country that offers Chinese, and then do it online, or in a school in your country that just has online courses, where you could work from home. I don't know, but that's just an example. I know that there are a lot of other scenarios out there, but I'm just saying that maybe look at other options. Be a little bit creative with your search, I think. So yeah. But but again, like if you really want to get the job that you were asking about before, I feel like if you apply again later when they have another round of hiring, you would be I feel like there is a very good chance that you're gonna get hired, but just not now, because right now it just seems like somebody else is already in the running, like, or not in the run, but someone is maybe favored, maybe through nepotism, or like through, like, there might be something else going on internally within the institution, or within the company, but I don't know. So, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and yeah, if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Mystical Medleys tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? Will group number 2 get the job that they have applied for or are considering applying for? Yes, it's a definite yes. It's definitely a yes. So it really seems very positive here. I feel like you're the favorite. And so if you haven't applied for a job yet, I think you're going to be the favorite. But if you have, I think if you have been to an interview, a job interview, I think the people or the person who interviewed you really liked you, found you to be very charismatic and very smart. And so, and if you haven't been to a job interview, I think people might have read your resume and really liked your resume. And if you haven't sent a resume yet, then I just think you're gonna be the favorite. I really feel very strongly that this is a good thing, like that this is like a match made in heaven. I feel like you are made for this job, and I think your employer is going to feel that way too, like that you're just a very good fit, that you have the same values, and that you just have the right skill set to do the job. And I feel like I'm getting a feeling like, why not? Why shouldn't they? Like, I feel like it's a no-brainer, actually. With the 3 of Wands here, I think there is very good prospects here. Like, I think you are starting a new journey, and this is the beginning of a new journey for you. I think I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about whether you're going to get this job or... Page of Pentacles. So yeah, you're very qualified for this job, and your employer is gonna see that too. It's gonna be, I feel like your employer sees you as a very stable person, a very secure person, a very educated, or at least experienced person. Probably also educated. I feel like you're educated, but if you're not, I just think your employer is going to feel like you're very, very experienced, and you have the right skill sets, the right qualifications to do this job. And that you also just fit in personality-wise, like that they are looking for someone with your personality. Because they feel like like even if you don't have the exact education that is required. I don't know if you have an education that's a little bit different from what you're applying to. I don't know if it's a little bit different, but I think your employer is gonna feel like it doesn't really matter, because they are looking for someone with a very specific personality and mindset, and yeah, and I think you just fit into that. So yeah. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more about will you get this job? With a Fool here, like it's, yeah, I feel like your employer would see you as a very good fit. Because it's the Fool's journey, the major arcana, it's the Fool's journey. It's the kind of same vibration or the same kind of feeling that the Three of Wands give out, like the feeling of a new beginning, fresh, like a breath of fresh air, like that sometimes I think a company or an institution just wants someone who can see things with new eyes, like someone who's not completely stubborn in their own ways, like someone who has like I think they're gonna like you because you can because you're outside the box, because you can see opportunities where other people see obstacles, like that you have a creative mind, but you're also very charismatic, very good with people, that you have very good people skills. And I think it just seems like your employer, your future employer, or your current employer, if you're asking about a job within your institution that you're trying to like get promoted to or something like that, then I think it's just it is a no-brainer for them, because they see you as a person who is very unique, and very hard to find someone like you out there. And so I think they would just feel like they have a gem, like here, like that, a rare gem, and that they would never like throw a rare gem out on the street. Like they wouldn't wouldn't want to. Yeah, they would want to hang on to you, because I really feel like this is a very good match, very good fit, and that it's very good. Like there are very good prospects here for this job that you're applying to, or that you're considering applying to. Like it's very good. It seems very secure. So yeah. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more with the Emperor here. Like I think you're just a very good fit. Like yeah, I think you're going to get the job. Nothing here indicates otherwise. Not a single card here indicates anything else. And and the cards are all upright. None of them are reversed, even though there are a substantial amount of reversed cards in this deck here. Like, so the fact that these all came out upright is a very good sign. And since the cards are very positive, I just feel like there isn't even more to talk about, because I'm very, very positive you're gonna get the job. And I dare to say that because I really feel a good vibe from this reading. So yeah. So I think that's all I have for you, actually, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Wonderland Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? Will group number 3 get the job that they have applied for or are considering applying for? Okay, I'm sensing it's a yes. But I feel like I need to say something about this, because I feel like some of you are considering changing your field to something else. Like maybe you have a job right now, but you want to change things up, so you're considering applying for a new job, something else, something different. Maybe because you're unhappy with the job that you have right now, or unhappy with the field that you have chosen, or something like that. I feel like maybe you need to consider this a little bit more. I feel like it might not be a good idea to take a too drastic make a too drastic decision right now, just because there is some stability within your job right now. It might not be the best job in the world. It might not be what you want to be doing, and maybe you feel like you're wasting your time. But I feel like even though you would very likely get a yes if you applied for another job, you would likely be hired, and so there is a very good chance of that happening, which is probably good news for you right now. But I just feel like sometimes the grass is greener on the other side. Sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it might just be the same thing, if that makes sense. Like sometimes we're in a job that we are a little bit tired of. It seems like it's not really worth it, but then and then some magical other job appears, and we feel like that would be so much more fun, or so much more enjoyable. Like it seems like something that you care about, something that that seems more in alignment with your true self, and seems more in alignment with your interests and your hobbies and all that. It might all seem like it's like just in alignment with everything, and it sounds very good on paper. But I just want to warn you. It's not a warning, but it's just I just want to advise you that there is a good chance that you're just going to move from one job to another job that is rather similar at the bottom line. Like it's kind of this, it could have the same sort of problems that you have right now in your current job. It might be kind of the same things that you're going to struggle with, the same like I feel like for most of you, this is not necessarily a problem, because going from one job that is kind of boring and not really satisfying to another job that's boring and also not very satisfying is maybe not really the biggest problem in the world. Like, then you're just switching from one to another, and maybe there is going to be a little bit of a different flavor to that new job that you're going to get if you apply for it. Like, it could have some other spice to it, and so maybe there is a different angle to it that could be interesting. But I just feel like sometimes it's good to stay at a place where you have already kind of built something, like you have something built up and you have created a foundation, and maybe there's also a social hierarchy that you might have kind of earned some respect from some people, that you've spoken your mind about certain things maybe, and maybe gotten to a point where socially you might have an advantage, even though maybe you feel like that is one of the things that you're trying to escape by maybe wanting to go to another job, that maybe you're trying to escape these people that you're tired of, like that you're tired of working with people who are too preoccupied with banalities, and maybe also like some, I don't know, tattletales, gossips who are just creating drama around the workplace or something. I don't know if that's the thing, but maybe some of you are just also tired of the competition, like people feeling like they have to compete against each other, or maybe there's just some other things going on, like maybe even some bullying, maybe not you as a target, but maybe some other people at your workplace where you feel like this is not a good institution or not a good company to work at, because it's like a little like a bad vibe, like a bad energy there, and maybe you want to escape that by finding another place to work. And I'm not saying that all these problems are going to repeat themselves, but I do feel like maybe you have actually gained some respect here, even though you might feel like you haven't. Like maybe you feel like it's just the same as when you started at first, like that maybe nothing has changed, but I actually think you have gone up the ladder, like of the social hierarchy, and I think there are people at your current workplace who look up to you and might even see you as a mentor to them. And maybe I'm not saying that you should stick around just because of that, but I do feel like there might be a little bit too much to just walk away from, now that you have built something up at the place that you work right now. If you work somewhere, like if you don't have a job right now, then of course that won't apply, the things that I just said. But I do still feel like if you don't have a job, let's say you don't have a job right, then I still think maybe the job that you have applied for, or that you're considering applying for, there's a very good chance you're going to get it, but it might be, it might be a little bit boring. It might end up being a little bit less than you thought it would be, like that. That it might be a little bit disappointing. And I also feel like some of you might have some entrepreneurial interests, or like interest in maybe building something up on your own, like starting your own business or starting your own thing, like your own, like getting your own income from doing something that you made yourself, like something like a website or your own, yeah, or your own business or something. And I think that might be a good idea, because I feel like you want to follow your passion. You want to do something you're passionate about, and you want to incorporate your hobbies and interests in your job. And so I think you're looking for jobs where your interests and hobbies are like intertwined into the job. Like, but I think maybe it would be better to build something around build something on your own around your interests and hobbies, instead of trying to find a fit outside of you, like try to create it from the inside, that makes no sense. But yeah, try to build your own thing instead that will fit exactly what you're passionate about, because you created it out of your passion. So it's kind of hard to be passionate about something that is another person's passion child, you know? With the 10 of Wands here, I feel like this is a good sign that you're going to get the job, but it's also a bad sign that maybe it is a little bit hard work, or hard work for something that could be a little bit like Sisyphus work, like where it seems a little bit pointless, like you're running and running and running and you don't really see the results. So I think you're going to feel like you're working a lot and you're doing a lot, and it's just not really that. I think you could also end up feeling a little bit underappreciated in your new job, where maybe now, even though maybe now you also feel a little bit underappreciated, but I think you still have I think you have a better I just think you have more respect from the people that you work with right now contra the people that you will work with in this job. Not that I think they won't respect you, it's just the longevity, the time that has passed, that of course will cause people to respect you more because you've been there longer, you've build something up. It's hard to earn people's respect, even though I think it's not necessarily hard for you, but it's not harder for you than other people, but it's just hard in general to do. So it's hard to start in a new place and expect people to respect you right away. It's hard to do. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. With the Queen of Hats here reversed, it's Queen of Cups reversed. It does seem like you are a person with a good intuition, an intuition that would be valued more where you work right now, and maybe also if you started your own thing. Because and by intuition I don't necessarily mean intuition in that sense. Intuition can be a lot of things, but of course for some of you I feel like maybe you would be more successful, or at least not necessarily more, well, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that, more successful if you started your own thing with, like, if you are a spiritual person, if you're a psychic, or if you are interested in doing tarot on your own. I feel like that is, like, if it's something that you have thought about, I think it could be a very good option for you to try to do, like, try to go down that road. If you're asking about a job on one of those, like, one of those lines, like hotlines kind of things, where it's for like psychic hotlines, so, something like that. I think there's like the website called Keen, but I think there are a lot of other websites where you can be a phone psychic. I would, like, I think you would get that if you have applied for it. I know it's only a very few of you who have applied for something like that, but if you have, I would recommend that you go the self-employed route instead, like go down that road, down that path instead, because there's nothing wrong with being a phone psychic, nothing wrong with that. It's honest work, it's not that, but it is not really honest work though. Like, is it though? I feel like it's very overpriced. I feel like it is it's also a little bit problematic because it's overly overpriced, and they don't pay, these websites don't pay their psychics very much. Like, not a lot of the profit actually goes to the psychics. It's mostly just going to that website, like and I don't think you would earn more money than you would if you went on your own. Like, if you started your own thing, I think that would be a better way to do it. So, but I think you would get it if you have applied for something like that. But I think for others of you, you might not have applied for something like that, but you have probably applied for, or you are considering applying for something a little bit different. Sorry. I feel like some of you could also be in tech, like technology, IT, software development, or in like graphic design or something like that. And I think in that, like, you could work where you work right now, or you could apply for something, or you could, yeah, you would get the job that you have applied for right now. But if you went your own, like, I feel like you could still do your own thing, like design your own software in, like, I don't know if like, I think you could go the entrepreneurial route instead, and I think you would be more successful if you did that. But you could also stay where you are right now. But I feel like applying for the job that you're considering applying for right now would maybe feel a little bit, it might feel a little bit off, like you're gonna start there and it's gonna seem a little bit like, I don't know, it's just gonna seem like a bad fit for you personally, and also just in terms of values, and I just don't think it's gonna be a good fit. So that's just, but I think you would get it if you apply for it. So I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more with the Empress here. Well, this is a lamb who is actually knitting out of her own fur, like out of her own yeah. And so yeah, she's in a boat knitting out of her own fur, and that kind of makes me feel a little bit like you're gonna be sacrificing a little bit too much, like you're gonna sit around and like take something off your, like use yourself too much, use too much of your time, your energy, and also your gift, your skills, your talents. You're gonna use that in a way where I feel like it's going to be underappreciated, underpaid, and so you're going to be self-sacrificing a little bit if you do this. I think it's maybe too much of a sacrifice, and you should maybe find something that is less sacrificial, like. Because, you know, you need the fur. Like, you need the fur to keep yourself warm, to keep yourself protected, and to just knit it, like, use it, like, while you're sitting there, like, while you're, like, I just think it's a little bit too much of a sacrifice. So, but again, if you are happy about this, then I'm happy for you. And if this is what you want, then I don't want to rain on your parade. It's but the answer is rather like it's positive. It is a yes. If you apply for this job, or if you have already applied for it, you're gonna get it. But I think you should think about other options, especially the option of becoming self-employed, because I think that self-employment would suit you very well. So yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye.